So I was putting together this month's cozy gaming update, and there's actually quite a bit happening in July. We've got Tales of the Shire finally coming out, Fields of Mistria, getting that romance update people have been asking for, plus some interesting moves from Apple and Nintendo that are worth talking about. It's been a pretty solid year for cozy games so far, and July is looking like it will continue that trend. Let me break down what's happening this month, starting with the big one. Tales of the Shire comes out July 29th, and it's been getting a lot of attention since the announcement. It's the first proper cozy life sim set in the Middle Earth, and they seem to be leaning into the Hobbit lifestyle pretty heavily. You create your own Hobbit, customize your Hobbit hall, and basically living the Shire life. Gardening, cooking, fishing, building friendships with other hobbits. One thing that stands out is the gridless decorating system. Have you ever tried to decorate in a grid-based game and gotten frustrated because something was slightly off-centered? Yeah, this fixes that problem entirely. The cooking system looks pretty detailed too. You're not just clicking make bread, there's actually recipe discovery, ingredient gathering, and apparently the meals you make affect your relationships with other hobbits. Which makes sense, right? Food brings people together, especially in hobbit culture. One thing I'm wondering about, are you someone who needs to know Lord of the Rings to enjoy this? Or does it work as a standalone cozy experience? From what I've read, the story is self-contained within the Shire, so you probably don't need to know about the rings or Dark Lords or any of that. But I'd love to hear from anyone who's played the early access. Does it feel accessible to newcomers? The pricing is standard for a new cozy game, around $40–50 depending on platform. Given how much content they're promising and the production values I'm seeing, that seems reasonable. Though, I know some of you are probably waiting for reviews before jumping in. What's your take? Are you planning to grab this at launch, or are you in the wait and see mode? Speaking of things people have been waiting for, Fields of Mistria is finally getting its romance update on July 21st. If you've been following this game, you know the community has been asking for this pretty much since early access launched. The update adds dating up to 8 hearts for all the marriage candidates, plus actual romance events and storylines. What's interesting about Mistria is how the town feels more connected than some other farming sims. NPCs have schedules, they interact with each other, they reference things that happened in previous conversations. It's that attention to detail that makes the romance system feel even more meaningful than just giving someone their favorite gift every day. Are you currently playing Fields of Mistria? And if so, who are you planning to romance when the update drops? I've been seeing a lot of debate in the community about the different candidates. The game's still in early access, but honestly, it already has more content than some fully released farming sims. If you've been on the fence about trying it, this romance update might be the perfect time to jump in. Plus, supporting the indie developers who are clearly putting this much care into their games just feels good. One thing to keep in mind, this is just the third major update, and they're already delivering on community requests this quickly. That's a pretty good sign for the game's future development. Now, let's talk about what Apple's been up to, because they've made some moves this month that could actually impact how we play cozy games on mobile devices. They are launching a dedicated games app on iOS 26 this fall. Think of it as a gaming hub that replaces Game Center and brings together all of your iPhone, iPad, and Mac games in one place. You can track achievements, see what your friends are playing, and launch games directly from the app. For cozy gamers, this could be pretty useful. How many times have you downloaded a farming sim, played it for a while, then completely forgotten about it, until you're scrolling through your apps? A central hub that shows your progress across games and reminds you about what updates could actually help you with that. There's also this. Apple bought their first game studio. They acquired RAC7, the two-person team behind Sneaky Sasquatch. It's their first gaming studio acquisition. Speaking of Apple Arcade, they added 9 new games this month, including Uno Arcade Edition and some cozy options like Lost in Play Plus. Do any of you actually use Apple Arcade? I'm genuinely curious because the subscription model for mobile games seems like it should be perfect for cozy gaming, but I don't hear people talking about it much. The question is whether Apple is serious about gaming or if this is just them trying to keep people in their ecosystem. What do you think? Are these moves actually going to make iOS a better platform for cozy games? Or is it mostly marketing? On the Nintendo front, the Switch 2 sold 3.5 million units in the first 4 days after launch. There's also Donkey Kong Bananza launching July 17 as a Switch 2 exclusive. It's an underground adventure with Donkey Kong and Pauline, and while it's not a cozy game, it has that Nintendo charm that tends to appeal to a similar audience. More importantly, we're starting to see how existing cozy games are getting upgraded for Switch 2. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting enhanced editions with better graphics and frame rates. For those of you who managed to snag a Switch 2, how are you finding it for cozy gaming? Is it bigger screen making that much of a difference for games like farming sims, where you're managing a lot of small details? The pricing is definitely higher than the original Switch launch. $449 for the console alone, $499 for a Mario Kart bundle. That's a significant jump. But then again, everything's more expensive than it was in 2017. The question is whether the improvements justify the cost, especially if you're primarily playing cozy games that don't necessarily need the extra power. Are you planning to upgrade or are you sticking with your original Switch for now? So that's what's happening in July for cozy gaming. Tales of the Shire at the end of the month, Fields of Mistria romance update in the middle, and some platform changes from Apple and Nintendo that might be worth keeping an eye on. Which of these July releases are you most excited about? Are you team Tales of the Shire or are you most interested in the Fields of Mistria romance update? And what do you think about Apple and Nintendo's recent moves? Do they seem like they'll help or hurt cozy gaming? I've got more details on these topics and other news over on papermoss.net. If you want to check that, you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!